It is a raining. It's a raining in F3. Right. Let's just... Hello all and welcome to F3 where it is raining in qualifying, and we are going to have Kamil Blezikinski, my good friend Ero Standing's Go Editor, is going to be the first driver to set a lap going through the Senna's. Very famous collection of turns around here. Then around Curva de Sol, also known as Turn 3. Now, all the way down to Turn 4, which is also known as Decidia del Lago, of course. Then all the way up to Turn 5. Now, heading uphill on this double right-hander, also known as the Ferradura, Turn 6. That's okay. Turn 7 doesn't kiss the curb, a bit wide the apex there, but that's alright. Into turns there 8 and 9, a twisty section there in sector 2. Lewis Hamilton describes this as a go-karting track, old school go-karting track, and I'd have to agree with him. I wasn't here last week. I was back home attending to some personal issues, but we are back in action now. And now here we go. What is this going to be as Kamil goes through Junsau? It's naturally going to be a purple sector as he is the first driver to set a time. And where are we going to be? Are we going to be the 118s here, it looks like? And it is indeed a 118.476. Next across the line will be the McLaren of Hayden Johnson, who's invalidated. And behind him is Ronkson. And he's also going to be in the 118s. And he goes marginally quicker than Kamil. And who is next across the line? It looks like it's going to be a Kick Sauber. And that's going to be Mason Piper. He sets a 118.6, no improvement. Sweaty Chicken next, is it? He's just starting. Oh, I think he must have invalidated. Next we have Sam Kent. He's going to be starting his lap. Sam has shown a bit of pace so far this season. Had some good results. I had no idea what happened last week. And it is a Friday night, and I was just that little bit tired. So Kamil, 6/10 clear of the field at the moment. As I think this is Charlie... What is his name? Charlie Gordon? Is that your name? What am I looking here? Charlie Gordon, is it? Yes, Charlie Gordon in the Sauber. He's Mr. Nicky Lauda, and Mason Piper in the other Sauber. Gran Turismo Tony with a 119. Hayden Johnson setting a very competitive 126. Well done to you. It is time to order the food, I think, because it is Friday night. And in the Zolf household, that means the one day of the week where we get a takeaway. Anyway, Sam setting a competitive 118.4. Where is championship leader Ivan Belov? He's going to set a 119.5, but I think he must have invalidated, or he's just starting now. And his rival for this season is obviously Max Jr. Brzezinski, who's on his out lap as well. He's actually qualifying today. How nice of him to join the peasants. Oh God, it's been a long week at work. As you all had the pleasure of Zucho last week. And as Ivan is negotiating his way through these corners, hopefully it's a dry race. Brazil always produces a good race when it's dry. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in and around the 118s. Yeah, and that's good enough for P3 at the moment. Ronaldinho into P2. So what can his rival do? As Jaden Carpenter is starting his hot lap as he goes through Curva del Sol. And Callum Ogden also on a lap as well. Camel going even faster now with a 1:17.477. We've seen this a few times now in F3 with Camel, where he's won a race. Camel to F3 confirmed. That's it. I can see it now. Bastian Vries is already shaking his head. Himself and Daniel both in the Alpines after racing in F4. As there's a McLaren there stopped just to let everybody out of the way. That's Sweaty Chicken. No, it's Hayden Johnson. Well, he's going to have to get out of the way again in a second. Oh, this is just dangerous from Hayden here. He's going to get DSQ'd by the game if he's not careful. Anyway, what will the time be for Brzezinski? And it's going to be a 1:17.7. So Campbell's nearly 2.5 tenths quicker than the fastest guys in F3. Campbell's the story here of this season. Whenever he races in F3, he dominates. As we see a Ferrari coming out of the pits, it's probably Isfod. Rongson now into P3. Rongson might fancy to win this race, you know. So, just under 9.5 minutes to go in qualifying. We've got Callum making his own track limits. That's going to invalidate him. Isfod's just having some fun, having taking a little Ferrari out for a drive. And Chris Pratt has not come out of the garage just yet. Daniel is only starting his first flying lap. But Camel, 2 tenths. 2 tenths from Camel. Remco as well, also in P4. Another impressive showing. Remco, the wet weather wizard. That's what I didn't say. The wet weather wizard of F4. As Brzezinski does go faster by nearly 4 tenths. Over 4 tenths. No, just under 4 tenths. Dumped that on the field. Okay. And how will the leaders respond? As Ivan on another lap, he is indeed, and he's going to be really quick. Because Ivan now goes second. But even him, he can't get past Max at the moment. So the top 2 in the championship, top 2 in this race, in qualifying so far. Chris Pratt yet still to climb the pits. Isfod is starting his lap. Callum Ogden on another flyer. And he's got a Ferrari right behind him. I'm assuming it's not Isfod, it must be Jaden Carpenter, who got some decent results in his mock exams this week. Well done, Jaden. Daniel has set a 1:19.5, but he's looking to be improving that. He's going to go back into the pits probably. Hayden Johnson's not the best to look in this season in the Ero. He's got a Williams behind him. I'm assuming that's the one and only Torpedo. It's not. The Torpedo goes P5. Alex Theodore with many names in the Ero. The Torpedo, Diddy, a dickhead. You know, loads of names. Plaudits. Matthew out again. Camel out again. Camel must fancy pole here. He's got a bit of time to make up, but he must fancy it. Charlie Gordon in his debut in Ero, currently in P7. As Sam Ken has burnt all his battery. He's 3/10 up in his time, but I don't know if he's on the way into the pits. He's at purple sector 1 as well. What can he do? Just under 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session for round 7. The last round before the Christmas break for every tier apart from this tier, as they will be in Belgium next weekend. Just for a quick one, just to finish off this race. That should have finished, but didn't. Whoever wants to race can. If you don't, you just go to the back of the grid if you don't have a finisher spot. So, Sam again with a purple sector 2. He's a second up in his time. Can he find that little bit more here? It's going to be very close to the liners. This pod's retired. I don't know what's happened there. But this is going to be very, very close to the front row, if not on the front row. For Sam Kent, it's going to be a 1:17.745. Loses a lot of time in that last sector. Right, so that puts him up to P6. Max into the pits. Ronaldinho into the pits. Camel, what are you going to do now? This is going to be competitive as well. Nope, he's going to back out of it and into the pits he goes. Next is Rongson. He's just starting his lap by the looks of it. As he goes through the Senna S's turns 1 and turns 2. Some amazing drives in the wet here, as Chris Pat has not set a lap and has retired from the session. Some amazing drives here in the past. Lewis Hamilton had a great drive here in 2021. Max Verstappen had a great drive here this year. Senna also had a great drive. One of his more legendary drives here. With the, I think it was like a broken 6th gear or something he had. He still managed to win the race. So a lot of history in this track. A lot of iconic moments. Iconic moments in real life and in Ero. We've seen some very famous crashes. We've seen a few title deciders happen in Brazil. Always a mainstay on the calendar in Ero. It's a track everyone loves to be on. As Jaden Carpenter to P6. Wow. Camel's not looking so fast anymore. Bastian Vried's also into P4. We missed that. Out comes Ivan Belov. He's going to start his next lap. Ronaldinho in the pits. Rongson into P1 at the moment. Matthew Wrightson, is this your moment where you get a pole position in Ero? With just under 4 minutes to go, what is going to happen here? As Ivan Belov now sets the fastest Sector 1 time of anybody. And he is flying up the Ferradura. He goes. Yellow flags in Sector 2, but that won't bother him too much. Through turns 8 and 9 now. Just struggling here a bit as he's got a Williams behind him. That's Camel. And Camel's going to get a lovely, lovely toe. Just sliding through there. And on the run down now to John Sauer. Oh, Ivan almost loses. He's going to cost him a bit of time. He's only improved by 3/10, but that's enough for pole at the moment. It's all about what he can do here in this final part of the track, this final sector. Is he going to get into the 116s? It is going to be a 116. Yes, a 116.909 for Ivan. And he gives Camel that lovely, lovely toe. Can Camel respond? Can he get half a second? He's 3/10 up, apparently. I don't believe that because he hasn't finished Sector 1 yet. No, he's a 10th down. Rongson probably charging to go around again. Nobody else from the top 5 out apart from Matthew and Ivan. And Ivan's at an in lap anyway. Or maybe he's charging to go again. I'll go again. I think he is actually. Matthew is on a lap by the looks of it, but it's hard to see his time. Alex Theodore apparently up half a second, but in reality he's not nowhere near that. He's charging. Remco's charging. Everyone's charging to go around again. As Rongson sets a purple sector too, apparently. So Matthew, not resting on his laurels, looking to go for it here. He will have time to go around again. Is this going to be in the 116s? Oh my god, Rongson going even faster now. It's the 116.8s. About 200ths quicker than Ivan. Well, nearly, 200ths quicker than Ivan. And Ivan's going to have to go around again now. And Ivan, I don't think Ivan's got enough battery. Well, we're going to see here what he can do. Brzezinski not electing to come out for Brzezinski, sorry. Ivan's done. Ivan's done. He's at a wobble. He's at a moment. That's his qualifying over. Matthew might get pole. What can Ronaldinho do? What can anyone do? Can anyone stop Rongson? As you see, up the Ferradura, Camel almost loses it. What is going on here? This is mad. Insane stuff here. If Rongson gets pole, we will never hear the end of it. With 16 seconds to go, everyone's going to be starting their final laps now. Callum Ogden crossing the line. It looks like, I think it's a Matthew crossing the line. He is. He's going to go around again. Ronaldinho is going to be the first of the drivers to finish, closely followed by, I think, a Williams. And what's he going to do? It's not going to be quick. It's going to be in the 19s, I think. Yeah, it's going to be in the 19s. This is no good. Next across the line, a Sauber. Charlie Gordon, he sets a 1:17.3. That puts him into P6. Next across the line is Sam Kent. He's not improving. Remco. No, not Remco. Hayden Johnson, what's he going to set? He's done as well. Now, Daniel invalidated. Bastian. Marginally down in his time. Not improving yet. Marginally improves. Next across the line is Jaden. Followed by Remco. Remco into P3. Camel takes pole at the last. Oh my. And Rongson steals it at the end. Matthew Wrightson, last driver across the line, steals pole position from the grasps of Kamil Brzezinski. Oh my god. Well, that's qualifying. Rongson P1, Camel P2, Ivan Belov P3, Mason Piper in P4, Remco Sweets in P5, Alex the tier Diddy rapist, whatever, torpedo in P6, Max Jr. Brzezinski in P7, Ronaldinho P8, Jaden Carpenter, Gran Turismo, Tony around the top 10, Charlie, Bastian, Sam, Callum, Hayden, Daniel, Isfod, and Chris Pat round out the rest of the grid. And it is dry. I'm actually amazed Rongson on pole. That was incredible. It just went back and forth. That was the stuff of legends. we will get underway in just a jiffy. I'm going to start ordering the food, so don't cause too many safety cars, lads. I think it's a Thai, nice. And we're going to get underway here now. A few red lights are up on the board. F3 round 7 is away and racing, and who gets the best start? Here's the question. And Matthew gets a very strong start. Williams and Camel gets a very poor start. Mason Piper there in the background looking to be quite promising there. Remco up to P4, Mason down to P5, Sam and Callum making places, but Sam Kent has dropped down. Camel up to P3. Nobody else looking to suffer too bad. Mason, Alex, Theodore fighting on the run down now to turn 4. Decidia del Lago, here we go. Ronson leading the way. The McLaren making a bit of a lunge there on the kick Sauber. People going off the track. Looks like to be pieces of grass flying in the air. Brzezinski up to P7. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. And Sam Kent, he's gone off. Unfortunately for him, Ivan Belov into P2. Wow. What an interesting start that is there. Sam down 5 positions, Camel up 1, Ivan up 1, Remco, Alex both up 1, Mason down 2, Gran Turismo, Tony up 2, it's a strong start from him, Jaden Carpenter and Kamil Plazikinski. Everyone's a Kinski in Poland for me. Sorry guys. Ronaldinho fighting into sector 3 as there's a bit of contact there between Ronaldinho and Jaden's car. And the two Alpines very close to one another as well. Daniel and Bastian, Callum Ogden closely behind, and Chris Patton, the Mercedes, is Ronson sets the fastest lap of the race as he is the first driver to cross the start-finish line. Jaden now making his move on Gran Turismo, Tony. The two Williams up the front. And let's look at the tyres to see where everybody's on. The majority of the field electing for the softs. Ideal window for the pitting for softs, if you're going to go soft medium, is about 15 laps, as Remco and Basin Fighter is around lap 15, as long as you don't burn out that rear right tyre. Here comes Brzezinski up the Ferradura. He's going to make the move on Remco, and that's going to stick. Next and in line for him is Mason. But Ronson holding off Ivan Belov for the moment. But here comes Camel on Ivan. Oh my. We have a fight in our hands today, I'll tell you that much. Ivan Belov waiting in the wings here, our championship leader. And is the torpedo going to do torpedo things? That is the question. As Camel overtakes Ronson, as Camel sets the fastest lap, immediately seated by Mason. But the question in here is, there's a bit of contact there between Matthew and it looked like Alex, and that's going to allow Ivan to slip on right through. And Camel's gone. Camel's checked out. Charlie Gordon, first driver today to get a 3-second time penalty after 3 laps. Matthew down to P3 already. He's dropping like a stone. Ivan up to P2 now. But here comes Ronson. Daniel's retired from the race. He's going to be a safety car. No, he's retired in the pits. Matthew and Ivan side by side into the Ferradura as Ronson comes into the back of contact of Ivan's car. Well, Matthew, we caught that one on stream. We'll say nothing. Matthew up to P2 at the moment. Camel checked out. He's over a second clear. And Alex is gonna be gaining here with the DRS. But here comes Mason Piper as well in that Sauber. And Alex and Wrightson, whatever you want to call him, they're going side by side through the set of S's, and Alex is just going to bully his way through there, all the way up to P2, but he's going to be very vulnerable to the two drivers who've got DRS behind him. Pro tip, guys, you don't overtake into turn 1, you overtake into Decidia del Lago. Because the double helping of DRS, Mason coming into contact with the back of Alex's car. Because the second helping of DRS is just as powerful as the first helping. Camel 2 seconds clear, he's checked out. We are legit not going to hear the end of this. The Camel wins this race. And Ivan all the way down to P12 after that unfortunate incident with Matthew. Matthew's sure to get reported for that. And here comes Mason and Alex. Thinks about it for a second. Brzezinski closely following suit. Remco, Jade, Gran Turismo, Tony, Bastian, Ronaldinho, Charlie, Ivan, Callum, everybody within DRS. Massive train forming S14, and then Sam Kent catching up there with the rest of the field. Chris Pat has dropped away as Brzezinski up to P4 now, making his way. And Matthew is going to be so vulnerable here. Isfal with a 3-second time penalty. Jaden and Remco fighting further down the field as Jaden gets kind of forced off the track there at turn 4 on the exit. Now Alex Theodore up to P2. It's a Williams 1-2 at the moment. Speed, never seen in real life. Remco and Jaden fighting yet again. These two have had a great little battle so far. Lovely view cam there. Wish you could have more of that. Wish you could choose your camera angles in this game. As we see Gran Turismo Tony in P8, he's just behind Jaden, and behind him is Breeze and Ronaldinho. Everyone very close to each other here. A lot could happen. Callum Ogden leading the back of this group. Chris Pat needs to get a move on if he wants to get DRS. As we see Hayden Johnson going to mow the grass. And Sam Kent just on a nice Sunday stroll. Hayden's having an absolute nightmare here. He's going to need a safety car to get back into this race. Back up the front though. Camel's still leading the way. These two, the Ferrari and the McLaren, still fighting away. That's going to be a track limit warning for Jaden. And there's a bit of a push there. Bit of a bonk, should we say, by Jaden to get past Remco. And Alex and Matthew fighting. Matthew with a 3-second time penalty. Alex with a 3-second time penalty. These two still going in at tooth and nail. Up the Ferradura, these two go. Brzezinski right behind them. As Charlie and Ivan, now Ivan's struggles are going from bad to worse. He's down at P12. Does he have wing damage events? Hayden Johnson with a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting apparently. Camel is absolutely checked out. P1, 3 seconds clear. Max and Mason going side by side into turn 1. This is very clean to the two of them. Mason gives it up for now, but he's going to have a big helping at DRS. Is Max going to have DRS? He is. Very lucky there. Chris Powell with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. We're going to stick with this fight here. Is Mason going to make a move into turn 4? He's not. I just noticed the Haas has got the Toyota sticker on it now. And Jaden Carpenter having the race was like, oh, there's a big incident there between a Red Bull and a Mercedes, is it? Oh, it's Ronson. Did he just reset the track? Massive incident there. Matthews went from 0 to 0. P1 all the way down to P12. And more drama's happening. I think Alex Theodore's gone. He is. And he's down to raking positions. And just like that, Ivan Bello back up to P9. Brzezinski up to P2. Campbell 5 seconds clear. Absolutely checked out. Jaden Carpenter up to P2. The actual scenes that Jaden gets a podium here would be great for him. We've got, so the top 4, 2 of them are on different strategies altogether. So half the top 4 are completely different strategies. Excuse me. Charlie Gordon, after being at the back of the grid, now back up to P5. Wongsu another 3 seconds. His day is going from bad to worse. And just drop back from this DRS train. Keep it away here. Chris Pratt to P11. Alex Theodore is P2 at one point, all the way down to P2, 10. Ivan in P9, Mason in P8. Callum Ogden, the strong showing in P7 so far for him. But Jaden Carpenter's going to be the driver at risk now. But here comes Camo. Ronaldinho on Max. Those hards, I think they're just kicking into life now. He's got a bit more gear than as Max is around in turn 1. Big moment there. As Rongson is gone, he's retired in the pits. He's had enough for today, unlike Matthew to retire, but that was it. It's enough for Matthew today. Further down the field, Remco is slow and he's being overtaken by quite a few drivers. Chris Papp to P9. James still holding up this pack behind him. And Camo is just darting off into the distance. The softener seems to be really struggling now as Gran Turismo Tony is in and he's in a fresh set of hard tyres. So the medium runners there are probably the fastest people on the track at the moment. And we'll see now, but Ronaldinho, he's gaining ever so slightly, but not enough to get the overtake done here. But here he comes. Ronaldinho on the hard tyres into turn 4. He's gonna get this move done long before the braking zone. But hold on, Jaden Carpenter's not giving this up on the outside. Keeps the position. It's all happening here. It is all happening here at the moment. Jaden still holding up this pack behind him. But here comes Ronaldinho. He's going to get the move done on Jaden and he's up to P2. But so Niki Lauda or Charlie Gordon also in the wings. I'm trying to order my food. Where are the drinks? There are no drinks. What kind of place has no drinks? Anyway, so Jaden did get the move back into turn 4. And this seems to be our most interesting battle on the track at the moment. It's Callum Ogden in P5, and he's actually technically in P4 because the person apparently in front of him. As yellow flags in sector 1, I think that's for Hayden Johnson, who's doing more donuts. If a safety car comes out, he's going to really ruin everybody's taking how long to catch up. Camel though, now the gap is only 1 second, and those mediums are really coming to life. Now look at Jaden Carpenter winning P2. This is amazing to see. And he's got DRS on Camo. Softs have really just died. Hards are going to be now the dominant tyre. Brzezinski back up to P7. He's going to charge back up the field after that. Unfortunately, he's into turn 1. And here comes Mason on Chris Pack going up the Ferradura. Gets that move done very cleanly. Good racing from the 2E lads. Sam and Ivan resting back in P11 and P12. Remco and Chris still fighting side by side. Chris was ghosted there, so a bit of contact might have happened or something. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. As Hayden Johnson is gone, he's retired in the pits. That is enough for him this evening. Jaden Carpenter into the lead of round 7 in F3. Camel crossing into the back of Camel. And who's going to have the advantage here, the DRS? Bastion with a 10-second penalty for speeding into the pits. And Camel has been dropped. Camel's very slow now at the moment. Is Charlie Gordon also getting past him? So the top 4 in a world of their own. Callum Ogden at the moment in P5. He's going to need faster tyres than the 2 drivers ahead of him though. Then you've got Alex Theodore and Brzezinski, Mason, Chris Pratt, Remco doesn't have a penalty in the drivers ahead of him does Sam, Ivan, Isfod, Gran Turismo, Tony, and Breach just coming out in his fresh set of mediums. He's going to try and take those to the end. Mason, Jaden, what's happened to Jaden? What's happened to Jaden? It's all gone wrong. Charlie Gordon and Camel fighting further up the field, and Ronaldinho's now checked out. Chris Pratt into the pits to change those softs. What happened to Jaden? Jaden was such a run. So the Hards running supreme at the moment. They're the fastest out of anybody. The deck is quite bad on those softs at this point. I'd say they're well into the 40s or 50s. On that rear right especially. Right, 2 seconds. The gap there between Ronaldinho and Camel. Ronaldinho has absolutely darted off into the distance, and Camel is holding up Charlie Gordon in his debut in ERO, showing some very good pace where the 2 title runners, or front runners to the title, aren't really doing much this race. Brzezinski was on a charge, he spun. Ivan was taken out by Matthew. So Brazil always providing the entertainment. No safety car just yet as we enter into lap 15 of 36. Camel into the pits. Charlie into the pits. So a lot of the soft runners now electing to go on to the mediums or the hards. Camel on the hards, Charlie on the hards, Camel on the mediums, Charlie on the hards, Remco on the hards. Chris Pratt also recently pitted for the hards. Isfod and Remco now fighting, the 2 F4 drivers. Might have hit faster. And Camel is gone. Ronaldinho 4.5 seconds up the road already. He's going to have to probably go long and go on to the softs at the end of the race. That'll be his strategy. If a safety car comes out now, it's absolutely perfect for him as well. Oh. Callum now into the pits. Interesting from him. Alex into the pits as well. That pushed Jaden back up to P2. As Mason gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, it's really going to derail his race. As Brzezinski now back up to P3. As 4 drivers behind him and Sam have pitted. Ivan into the pits as well. So some drivers electing for the mediums, some electing for the hards. How good is your tyre deck? Isfod into the pits as well. Ronaldinho's got another 5 or 6 laps in these tyres before he has to pit. Remco and Ivan fighting. And there's a lot of chaos here into turn 4. And the McLaren having to give that up just for now. But Gran Turismo Tony waiting in the wings as well to make any moves up. And you'd be assuming Max would be pitting now. No, but he's going to stay out because he had DRS. Jaden into the pits, and Ronaldinho is 9 seconds up the road. Seconds as Camo sets the fastest lap of the race at a 1:10.356. Great racing on show here as Jaden down to P8 at the moment. As Mason gets to SM. Or does he? He does. So those medium runners are really going to struggle towards the end of this race now. Although I do see a few clouds. I don't think it's going to be raining as it did in F4. But c'est la vie is Ivan now into P10 on his first set of medium tyres. Chris behind him, Remco behind him, and Tony behind him. Bastian a bit of ways away at the moment. Camel is just absolutely checked out. And the longer this goes on, the more this favours him. Like, this is his race to lose at the moment. Max into the pits. As he gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It just gets better and better for Ronaldinho here. So Sam and Ronaldinho both staying out long to go onto the softs towards the end. Camel back up to P3. Alex Theodore back up to P5, and Callum Ogden to P6 as well. There's a lot of the grids still relatively close to each other. And Ronaldinho now 16 seconds clear of his, nearly 16 seconds clear of his nearest challenger on the track. This is a very dominant display. Nearly a whole pit stop ahead of the competition. This is amazing stuff here. Gambled on the hards, gambled there wouldn't be an early safety car, and it's really paying dividends at the moment. There's 17 seconds the gap. Vries with a 3-second time penalty, and Camel is right on the back of Sam Kent here. Sam is actually holding him up. Camel looking to get past here. He's going to sail past the DRS. Sam has no battery left either. This is a very, very simple pass into turn, not even into turn one, to the start-finish line. Now, when Ronaldinho does pit, if he gets a safety car now, he's absolutely singing. He's got like 5 laps to get a safety car. That's Brzezzinski setting the fastest lap of the race with a 1:10.329. So it's just not been a good race for the top two in the championship tonight. As we enter into lap 20 of 36, Callum Ogden and Mason Piper fighting into turn 4. Mason not giving this one up, as a bit of contact there that could have been ugly. Up the Ferradura these two go, as the Haas will stay in the lead for now. 16 seconds is the gap between P1 and P2. But that is dwindling and dwindling as Camel on those fresher tyres, softer tyres, is eating into that. He's gained half a second already in the last 20 seconds or so. At this rate, he will be catching up to the back of Ronaldinho. However, Ronaldinho is probably going to be in the soft tyres towards the end of this, for the end of this race in his second stint. Alex Theodore now going even faster with a 109.955. Alex is up to P4. He's on a charge. And he's going to have a bit more DRS to help him charge up the field even that much more. Can Charlie Gordon fend off this attack? Here he comes, the torpedo. Elects not to make the move. Very wise. Very unlike you, Alex. Must be feeling nice this evening. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2 as Bastian is gone. Daniel's already gone. Isfod in the middle of it in P15. He's been lapped, unfortunately. So Ronaldinho into the pits. Where does this lead Camel? Camel should come out ahead of him. And Ronaldinho elects to go into the mediums, playing it safe, but he's dropping a lot of positions here. A lot of positions. He's in a P5 at the moment now. Sam Kent yet to pit. The rest of the field, though. What do we have? He's going to be the man to watch for the rest of this race. As someone's went off the track. I don't know who that is. Oh, it's probably just Bastian's car. But Ronaldinho already gaining massively on Sam on those 21 lap old mediums. Sam Kent holding out for a safety car at the moment. And Alex Theodore trying to get within DRS as he's now fighting for track position. As Daniel's left the session now. Alex within DRS now, so he needs to stay within that. Chris Pratt with a 10-second time penalty was speeding in the pit lane. His day's gone from bad to worse. Jaden and Brzezinski fighting into turn 4. Jaden keeping the position for now, keeping the two Hasses at bay. Ronaldinho already up to P4. And he continues his charge up the field. He's going to have to overtake them to get the win, but with these fresher tires, he should be getting the move done quite simply here. Remco and Ivan fighting yet again for P10 on the track. And Camel, what's happened here? Camel's been overtaken by Alex. And here come with the assisting and DRS, even more clouds appearing above us. Camel just going to fly past. And this is clever from the two Williams. As Isfod is retired now in the pits. I'm not sure if they're fighting each other at the moment, but just playing this game of letting each other pass with DRS. Helps them keep the gap on the drivers behind. It's Remco with a 3-second time penalty now. Sam onto the softs. He's going to try and nick Fast's lap at some point in this race. It's been a very topsy-turvy race, and somehow Camel's ended up back on top. The two drivers in front of Ronaldinho both penalties, so Camel will be net P2 at the moment as it stands. But here comes the torpedo. Back up to P1. Callum Ogden And Jaden fighting. Jaden lost the position to Max, but he's not going to lose another one to his teammate. And Ronaldinho not making as much headway as we thought he would. He is closing the gap, but not as much as we would want to see from him at this point. He's still got time though. About 4 seconds off the lead. But that is coming down. He's really gaining actually here, this last lap. And here we go again, Alex and Camel, but Alex can't get the move done. Mason and Brzezinski fighting now. Not Mason, sorry, Jaden and Brzezinski. And Max not able to get past the Ferrari, doing a stellar job at the moment. Ronaldinho closing ever so slightly more, he's going to be within DRS. And now definitely within DRS. And he's going to be looking to get past Charlie Gordon already. Charlie having an impressive debut so far in the Euro. And there we have it. Camel up to down to P2, Alex up to P1. That's been commonplace up for the last few laps. But Ronaldinho now up to P3. He overtakes with DRS. And we have just 10 laps to go here in F3. Jaden and Max battling yet again. So as it stands at the moment, Ronaldinho is still going to be P2. His real battle here is with Camel. And he is closing in on these two in front of him. As the two Williams are going to a nail here, and this is just like Ronaldinho right into it. This is Camel's race to lose in the Aston Martin. May I just preface? As now Ronaldinho with DRS here. Really close to the back of Camel here. And he's going to get him. He's got an amazing exit there at turn 3. Chris Powder through second time penalty. Ronaldinho up to P2, which is the net pace race lead. Chris not having the best of races at the moment. It's not been a great day for Mercedes. But the Greek man will keep pushing on, hoping for a safety car. As Jaden Carpenter with a 3-second penalty for track limits. I think it's a second. Oh my. Some drivers have some horrible penalties at the moment. As it stands, I think Ivan's actually going to gain some points on Max in the championship. And that is it. Ronaldinho up to P1 with the assist of DRS. And then Alex Theodore getting the position back, but it's just to be expected. Callum Monton, the latest driver, to get another penalty. But this is the man at the moment in the driver's seat, in complete control of this race. The two Williams having a good race. The two Kicks are also having a good race. Let me just double check the penalties though for that. Well, Charlie Gordon is, but I'm not so sure about Mason. He's got 13 seconds. Ivan Belov being the best of the rest. He's going to probably jump all the way up to P6, maybe even P5. Just by keeping the car on the track. Ronaldinho and Alex finding it again. Alex down to P3 now. As Camel getting that lovely slipstream, but Camel being very, very fair there. Is that a drop of rain? I'm after saying it is raining. It's raining in F3. Now what? Everyone who's on the old hard tires and the old mediums, you are fucked. And you're already seeing there, Camel having a moment. He's almost taken out Charlie Gordon, going up the Ferrari, sliding all over the place. Everyone's sliding now. Remco with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, this race is about to get very, very interesting. Ronaldinho's easy coaster win. Has just been throwing a spanner in the works. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2, and that looks to be Remco. He's off the track, he's back on now, but everyone's going to be losing grip. DRS is surely going to get deactivated soon. Well, this is it. This is your time to prove your worth. It's Callum and Jaden fighting. Now, Mason right on the back of Camel as well. Camel's just been dropped by Alex Theodore. Alex might actually get P2 here if he gets his act on. And who can capitalize in this situation? Rain is falling. DRS hasn't been disabled yet though, and we just got 5 laps to go here. Camel into the pits. Now, why has he gone and done that? Is he going to stick the inters on? He is, but unless this DRS has just been disabled now, unless this gets very, very wet, Chris Pat's after retiring. No safety car. So Camel into the pits, Remco also into the pits. Camel's got a lot of work to do now to catch back up. And all Ronaldinho has to do, or not Ronald, yeah, all Ronaldinho has to do is keep the car on the track. And all Alex Theodore has to do now is just keep the car on the track as well, and he'll finish P2. Mason having a big struggles here in Sector 2. Everyone seems to be just slipping and sliding around the track. Camel already up to P8 though. The charge is on. Chris Pat leaving the session. That's not going to cause too much chaos, we hope. What can Camel do now? He's gambled going on the inters and it seems to be paying off already. Oh my god, the amount of grip he has compared to everybody else. He's sailing up the way now. Next up is Callum Ogden. As Jaden's lost a bit of his wing. He meanders off into the pits. Camel back up to P6. Alex Theodore and Charlie Gordon fighting. Ivan Belov with a 10-second time penalty for track limits. Camel might win this race. Camel might win this race. He's climbing up through the ranks here. Pushing on. The Polish man, what can he do? With just a few laps to go here. He's got about 17 seconds to make up on the rest of the pack. Guaranteed P2 at this rate. Well, not really guaranteed P2, but... As Alex now 7 seconds off Ronaldinho. And Camel already onto the back of Brazillian. And he's already overtaken Camel on an absolute tear here. Camel all the way back up to P4. Well, the dries really suffering versus the wets. And Camel has caught the back of these two in P2 and P3. And he's going to just fly past Charlie Gordon here. And next up on his hit list is Alex Theodore. And just like that, Camel with a beautiful move on the strategy. And now it's going to be, he's going to be the man of the choice. He dives down turn 1. He makes a bit of contact with his teammate. Brzezinski with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane again. And the gap is less than 5 seconds with 2 laps to go. Camel on the fresher tyres, the fresher correct tyres in these conditions. And he's gaining 1.25 seconds nearly. And I don't think there's much Ronaldinho can do here. I think he's just got to take his medicine. Camel's going to win this race with an absolutely beautiful strategy call. And here he comes. Round turn 10. No problem. Into the race lead. Just like that. It was all going so well for Ronaldinho. It was all going so correct for Ronaldinho. Then the rain came. It upset everything. Jaden Carpenter and Remco fighting further down the field for P8 on the track. Now the question is, can Callum Ogden get a decent finish here? Well, he's up to P5 at the moment. He's ways away now going into the final lap. He'd have to make up 12 seconds, which I don't think is going to happen, but... Camel's gone. He has dropped the entire field. He's well in thoroughly wet weather as well. What's Ivan's penalty? So that'll probably haul Ivan's charge. So he'll probably just finish P6 the best. And amazingly, Camel is going to win this race with an absolutely beautiful strategy call. Amazing stuff. Thoroughly deserved. Congratulations. F3 finishes without a safety car for the first time in its existence in Brazil of all tracks, and that's all she wrote. Ronaldinho is going to cross the line in P2. He must be disgusted with himself. Camo winning by 19 seconds. This is absolute madness. Camo P1, Camo P2, Alex Theodore in P3. Callum Ogden's going to finish in P4. Congratulations to you. Camo with more races in F3 than F4 this season. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed. This is bonkers stuff. Anyway, provisional standings. Kamil Blazhekinski in P1. Ronaldinho Kamil Plazhekinski, another Pinsky. They're all Kinskis to me in P2. Alex the Theodore, terrorist, rapist, Diddy in P3. Callum Ogden in P4. Charlie Gordon in his debut in the Euro in P5. Ivan Belov P6. Remco Smith P7. Max Jr. Brzezinski in P8. Jaden Carpenter P9, Mason Piper in P10, Sam Kent in P11, Gran Turismo Tony in P12. They round out the finishers. Then Chris Isford, Bastian Hayden, Matthew and Daniel round out the rest of the grid. I'm absolutely shocked here. Campbell, well done. Fair play to you. Absolutely great. Tune in tomorrow night. F3 starts at 7 p.m. where Zeman, Ioannik and Samuel Newman are battling away for this title. Harry Jetters might have something to say though. And we'll see what happens in their race in Brazil. Thank you all. Have a lovely Friday evening. And if you aren't a race for the rest of the weekend, have a lovely weekend.